Germany has undergone remarkable changes in its economic landscape, from being a divided nation with a struggling economy to becoming the largest economy in Europe and the fourth largest economy in the world by GDP. The country takes pride in building itself up from square one. No matter how much they are pushed back, they will march forward. In this video, we will explore the key economic developments that have taken place in Germany over the past 2 centuries, including the role of technology, politics, and global events in shaping the country's economic growth. So, sit back, relax, and let's take a journey through the economic history of Germany. The Industrial Revolution began about a century later in Germany than it did in Great Britain because Germany did not exist as one political unit until 1871. Germany has undergone significant economic transformation in the last 200 years. In the early 19th century, Germany was a predominantly agricultural country, but by the late 19th century, it had become one of the world's leading industrial powers. This development was done at a remarkable pace and the country excelled. That progress was carried to the next century until they decided to use this advantage to go on in a war, and not just an ordinary war, but a world war, only to see a big loss that brought its economy to shambles. The victorious Allies decided to punish Germany with massive war reparations. Germany was already demolished and penalties made the situation even worse. They tried to pay it off by printing money, and the country had to face one of the worst hyperinflation between 1921 to 1923. The country came on facing troubles, and it eventually gave rise to this Austrian-born German mustache guy who decided to steer the country's economy towards massive military spendings and decided to go in on yet another war because looting others' wealth seemed like a great idea. During World War II, the Nazis inflicted a system of economic controls on production prices and wages. On top of that, they printed money to cover a part of the cost of war, which resulted in inflation along with tons of other factors that brought the country to a social and economic collapse. By the time they surrendered in 1945, the Allies that bombed Germany in World War II decided the fate of the country yet again and ended up dividing it into 2 parts: West Germany under the control of the United States, Great Britain, and France, while East Germany was under the control of the Soviet Union. East and West Germany went on to pursue different journeys. Western forces decided that it wasn't a good idea to put the nation through the same cycle of reparations just like they did earlier. So a plan was implemented which is referred to as the Marshall Plan to rebuild the country, aided by the Western powers. The purpose of this plan was to ensure that Germans won't fall for any other national leader like the mustache guy or get inclined towards any communist ideologies. A small group of German free market advocates who survived the war had maintained a connection with each other in hopes of sharing ideas. One of the prime figures was Walter Eucken, who was a professor at the University of Freiburg. One of Eucken's disciples named Ludwig Erhard was later appointed as economics minister in the American administration. In 1946, Erhard brought major reforms and advocated for a free market economy and emphasized frequently that Germans have to accept their top conditions and only hard work and self-responsibility could make them prosper and attain a new place among the civilized nations of the world. Among the many reforms that Erhard brought in was the abolition of price and production control. Erhard announced on the radio that the next day, nearly all price control policies would end. The commander of the American authorities called Erhard into his office and said, "My advisors tell me you're making a terrible mistake." Erhard replied, "Don't listen to them. General, my advisors tell me the same thing." The recovery began. The hoarded goods came out of hiding as they could be sold at competitive market prices. Industrial production increased substantially in the next couple of years. Once the agricultural and industrial output was increased, the economic success guided its way into the 1960s under the Soviet-backed government. The East German economy faced several challenges such as the inefficiencies of a centralized planning system and lack of incentives for private enterprise. As a result, the economy struggled to keep up with its Western counterpart, leading to economic stagnation and widespread poverty. In the 1950s, Germany's economy began to recover as a result of the Marshall Plan and the Wirtschaftswunder, or economic miracle, which transformed West Germany into a prosperous industrial nation. During the 1960s and 1970s, Germany experienced strong economic growth, with annual GDP growth rates averaging around 5%. The country's exports also increased significantly during this period, particularly in the automotive and engineering sectors. After the fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989, the reunification of Germany followed, with West Germany absorbing East Germany. This led to significant economic challenges, with the cost of rebuilding the formerly communist East German economy and infrastructure being a significant burden on the West German economy. However, with the support of the German government and the European Union, the reunification process was successful in rebuilding the East German economy and integrating it with the West. The reunification of East and West Germany in 1990 had a significant impact on the country's economy, with the cost of reunification estimated at around €2 trillion. The 1990s were a difficult period for the German economy, with slow growth and high unemployment rates. However, by the early 2000s, the economy had rebounded, and Germany became the world's third-largest economy by nominal GDP in 2007. In the years since the global financial crisis of 2008-2009, the German economy has continued to grow steadily. In 2019, Germany's GDP was $3.8 trillion, and the country is the fourth-largest economy in the world. The service sector is the largest sector of the German economy, accounting for around 70% of GDP, followed by industry and agriculture. Germany is a major exporter of goods, with exports accounting for around 47% of GDP. The country's top exports include motor vehicles, machinery, chemicals, and electronic equipment. In 2020, Germany was the world's third-largest exporter, after China and the United States. The German economy has also undergone significant structural changes over the last few decades. For example, the country's coal industry has declined significantly since the 1960s, while renewable energy has become increasingly important. In 2020, renewable energy sources accounted for 47% of Germany's gross electricity consumption. Today, Germany is a thriving economy and a world leader in technology, innovation, and exports. Its economy is characterized by a highly skilled workforce, a strong focus on research and development, and a commitment to sustainability. The German economy is also heavily reliant on its small and medium-sized enterprises, which account for over 99% of all businesses in the country. And that's a wrap for our discussion on the evolution of the German economy. From its humble beginnings as a mostly agrarian society to becoming one of the world's largest economies, Germany's economic journey is nothing short of remarkable. We've seen how events like World War I and II, reunification, and globalization have shaped the German economy over the decades, leading to periods of growth, stagnation, and even recession. Despite these challenges, Germany has emerged as a powerhouse in industries such as automotive, engineering, and technology, and continues to be a key player in the global economy. As we look to the future, it will be fascinating to see how Germany adapts to the rapidly changing landscape of the 21st century and continues to innovate and drive economic growth. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you enjoyed this exploration of Germany's economic evolution. German efficiency is real, and its economy is no joke. Thank you for watching. We will try to reply to everyone in the comment section below. Please like, subscribe, and share the video to support the channel.